They're just going to be taking us through a conversation that is called writing your story. And I have first-hand knowledge about how the things that is doing today in every sphere. Deji trying to write his own story by himself. And I'm just going to jump the wagon to say that I remember Deji had his exhibition today. I mean, this year rather, not today. So it's not going to be yesterday. Yeah, exhibition today. We had his exhibition this year, and I remember, like, I think it was 2 years ago in 2019, we at one of a photographer's exhibition, and we're just yelling and saying, like, guys, it will make sense for you to try out because your work is crazy, man. Like, it will make sense for you to try out your own exhibition and figure out what you can do. It took me like 1.5 years to figure it out. But like the feedback on the exhibition that you have put out this year has been really massive. And that's an example of how you can write your own story. And there's so many examples that you will share in the story. So this topic is important because I think that a lot of people do not know how to take risk, how to ask for opportunities, and how to curate your own story to the world. Like, you are the best storyteller for yourself. People can come and ask you, but you know how that experience made you better. You know what you had to do to be where you are. So you know the parts of you that makes you stand out from every other person. And so I think like just understanding how to curate your stories to the world would help you access new opportunities and new platforms. And I'm really excited about this topic. And Deji is a self-taught exhibiting digital artist, and as also a photographer. He's passionate about using art to answer questions, and is an experienced art director with over 7 years in advertising and creative design. He holds the bachelor's degree in geography from the University of Ibadan, and his works are featured in like First Magazine, Intra Magazine, Osengwa, amongst many others. Like Deji is like fascinating artist. So this is where my shine starts, and I just hand over to Deji to just run us through the conversation of the day. So over to you.
Thank you so much, Nifemi. Can you hear me well? All
Yes, I
right.
can hear you well.
Okay. All right. Awesome. Um, Good evening, everybody. Thank you guys for having me. My name is Deji Oluokun. I think Nifemi has already made the introduction. Like, that's it. That's more like everything that I am, or that I think that I am. Yeah, I'm just like really grateful, and I feel privileged to be on this session because I know that there were times that I dreamed about about stuff like this. I said that I would love people to know a little bit about how I have channeled myself to get to where I am at the moment, and even the stories that I've amassed, or the experiences that I have amassed along the journey, the things that I've gone through. Like, I would love to be, I would just love to just sit down one day and just gist with people about it randomly. Like, I didn't think that it would be like something that I would have to talk to some people as a session, or as a regulated session as we have right now. So I feel really privileged, and I'm honored to be here. The conversation we are having today is writing your story, and it is really important to me as a person because I I have been in different places or in different phases in life. To be honest, I have taught myself a lot of things that I didn't grow up learning from. Maybe it's my parents, or maybe it's my sibling, or maybe it's my friends. They are just things that I see somewhere, and I say to myself that, bruh, I have to do this stuff. And one of the things that I have taught myself is art direction and graphic design. I got my first job in art direction in the year 2017, 2016, thereabout. I was one of the very few people that used to do graphic design like on a proper level when I was in school. Can't count the number of projects that I embarked on when I was in school, and it was just based off I was curious about learning how to do design. Got on YouTube, started doing it, and before I knew it, it was making me cash in the school. And before I could even blink, I started working as a professional graphic designer in one of these advertising agencies in Lagos. As a matter of fact, I came to Lagos to actually do professional graphic design in a firm. And I didn't have any business to come to Lagos. I've never been to Lagos. I just came because I got that job. And since that time, I've been a Lagos boy in quotes. So I'll just go to, so with that little introduction, I'm just going to dive right into what we have for today. I'm going to okay, Nifemi has already. Nifemi, let me share my screen from here. Can you see my screen? All right, awesome. So writing your story, the one of the main things that I want you guys to I've introduced myself. My name is Deji. I shoot people and I expose brands. And what I'm saying is I'm a photographer and I'm an art director. I dive into advertising every now and then. That's what I mean by expose brands. The session that we're going to have today, I want us to have this at the back of our minds. Process over results. And what I mean by that is that I want you to focus on the process that is taking you to where you want to get to, more than you're focusing on the results or on the outcome. And what I mean by that is that we tend to focus on what we want to get from something, that we lose the enjoyment or the satisfaction that comes from the process that we're going through to achieve that same thing. So take, for instance, you are going to your house from the office and you probably get stuck in traffic, and along your journey there was so much drama along your journey. Probably some cars bashed each other, people are selling stuff by the road, there was a robbery somewhere, there was a beautiful billboard somewhere, like all those things that are on the road. But the fact that you really want to just get to your house, right? You were not taking cognizance or you were not observing those things. So what happens at the end of the day is that you get to your house, then when they tell you that, did you see that stuff that was happening, like a digital billboard that was 3D or something on Lekki Ikoyi, you're like, I went to Lekki Ikoyi this morning and this night too, when I went to the office, when I was coming back, I didn't see that. So what happens is that we are more focused on what we want to get to or where we want to get to, that we deprive ourselves of the satisfaction or the experience that we can get from the process that is going to take us to where we want to get to. So I want all of us to have it at the back of our minds today that when you focus on the process, when at the end of the day, when the success eventually comes, or when the outcome gets to where it gets to you now have like a channel, they have like a chart of stories that you can tell or that you can share, or that gives you that kind of satisfaction that I did this stuff myself, or I did this stuff in this way. So it even helps you broaden your horizon, because then you can't get to, or you might not be able to get into those problems anymore, because you've experienced or because you've learned some things from the process that you went through when you were trying to get to where you are at the moment or right now. There is a video that I watched of YC. YC is a Nigerian rapper and a musician. He did some Instagram live one time like that, I think 2 days ago, 3 nights ago, that he was playing a record that he was making in his studio. And he was then saying to him, it was just saying to us, the audience, that he has that talent in him. And the fact that he can show the world the talent that he has is more than any kind of satisfaction that you can get from being the best anything, maybe his best rapper or anything. The fact that he has the talent and people are here listening to him, downloading his songs, streaming his songs, he is happy. And then he said that anything that you can do or you know that you are talented with, stick to that stuff and do it in the most legendary way that you can do it. Then he now went ahead to say something very funny that I held on to. He said that if you want to even be an idiot, be a legendary idiot. Be the most interesting idiot that you can be. Be the funniest idiot that you can be. Be the world champion idiot that you can be. And what he's trying to say is just that anything that you find yourself doing, do it in the most interesting, in the most amazing way, that when people see it, they don't think that it is what you've done. They think more of the way you have done it. and people start talking about, did you see that stuff that guy did? Nobody has done that stuff that way he has done it. It's not that nobody has done what he has done before, but nobody has done it in that way that he has done it. So if you want to be an idiot, be a legendary one, right? The stuff we're talking about today, we were starting from how you can get your purpose, then the process that you're going to take through what you want to get to, and the kind of person that you become along the line. I'm going to play this video quickly.
There's no audio. You need to enable audio.
You can't hear?
No, we can't hear the audio from the video. You have to share audio while you're sharing the video, while you're sharing your screen. So you have to stop sharing your screen then. You see the place, you see it underneath. Share audio also.
Okay. So when I want to share my screen, I'll see share sound as well. Got it.
Exactly. Share computer sound.
Okay.
Great.
Can you hear it?
No.
Can you hear it?
Okay. You want me to share it?
Yeah, can you share it? You can share it from your side actually. Let me stop sharing.
Okay.
So is the video file that you
Yeah.
Yeah.
A second.
Either you work hard for it or you don't work hard for it. Well, me and my brother, we work hard for our stuff. It don't come easy. In life, you have to work. Either you want to be the shark of the ocean or the fish of the ocean. And right now, we want to be the shark. Take over everything. Strength, no weakness. Power, the muscle. You have to have that mindset. So you're going to come in here and dominate. When you say, oh, no. Don't put yourself down. Motivate yourself. Keep yourself up, pumped, and ready for any challenge.
All right, yeah. So there's some key takeaways in that video that we just played, and it is that you can't. Okay, yeah. Is that you can't settle for less in any way. It is either you work hard for something or you don't do it at all. If you do it in a way that you're just being mediocre about it, it's not going to work out. The best you can get is probably you're getting change from what you're doing. Maybe someone is paying you for this stuff. But the fact that you want to be satisfied or want to be fulfilled about the things that you're doing, that feeling won't come from what it is you're doing if you're not doing it in the most amazing way you can do it. You have to set out to dominate. You have to set out to use everything that you can get, or all the experiences that you can get, all your power, like your muscles. Like I'm not even talking about physical muscles now. Like your strength, everything. You have to put it into it. Like what is you need 7 hours of sleep or you need 8 hours of sleep when you're trying to get better at being a dancer, for instance. That means you have to keep rehearsing, right? That means you have to hit the gym, work out, get ripped, get this, get that, right? Before you can be a dancer, for instance. What is that? You want to be a content person and you're saying to yourself that, man, I need my 8 hours of sleep. So when do you want to record? When do you want to edit your videos? When do you want to post? When do you want to get your caption? When do you want to run your Instagram ads? When do you want to collaborate with people? When do you want to even learn more things that you want to share with people at the same time? So you can't be that person that wants to reach something and be mediocre about it. The best you will get from being mediocre is just getting chicken change. or getting some cash from what you're doing. So you have to set out to dominate. That's like the key takeaway from this video that we just watched. I don't know why. Okay, let me share this stuff again. Okay. Man, I think Nifemi, can you keep sharing from your side? I don't know why this stuff is hanging.
All right, sure. Should I share the document or the video?
The video itself, because I have some videos in it. Documents will play the video. Yeah.
Right. Okay, gotta close it.
Yeah. So you just play it a bit, then move it forward just a bit. So the first thing that we're talking about today, like I just want you guys to have all these things that I prepared you guys with in your mind as we're going through this presentation. So the first thing I want to talk about is the concept of change. Everybody is trying to change the world, right? One man can change the world. This can do this. This can do that. But people have forgotten that they have to change themselves first of all before they can change any other thing. And the fact that we have, or our parents normally say that charity begins at home. That alone justifies that there's nothing you want to go do out there that can be possible if you have not worked on yourself, or if you have not changed yourself, if you have not positioned yourself in a way that you can change whatever you want to go change. So the concept of change is something that has to push you to want to write your story, or to want to do things that will make you have a story. So there's something that is not working and you want to change it. That is the reason that you set out in any way or at any point in time to do anything. Next slide. So I'm going to be sharing 10 habits that can help, or that I have, that has helped, or that have helped me. I'm going to share 10 habits that I have that have helped me in writing my story, or in getting to where I am today. And the first habit is I always set out to fight anything, any problem, any project, any photo shoot, any session. What I set out, I see it as the problem, and I set out to attack the problem. There's a saying that goes that if you want to feel the problem, keep thinking about it. But then if you want to starve that problem, if you want to kill the problem, then you take action. And this boils down to the concept of change. If you see that there's something wrong, the only way you can change that is if you do something about it. I knew that at some point I was born naturally as an artist. I draw, I paint, and do stuff like that. But at some point I knew that that might not get me where I want to get to, because I want to be known as someone that does something creatively and has, in a way, made a change in the society by the things that he does creatively. I know that I'm a creative guy. Like there are so many creative guys. But what is that edge that I can have that can make me be that person that people can look up to, or people that can be inspired, and can be inspired with? So that is when I took the decision that I would love to actually learn how to do photography. Because as at that time when I was drawing, I realized that things were already going into a digital age. People were doing more stuff, amazing stuff, 3D, graphic design. They were doing amazing stuff right there with their laptop. And as at that time, we used to go to bookshops to go get sketch pads, pencils, do stuff like that. You'll be looking for people you want to draw, portraits that people want to give to their birthday guys. Girlfriends want to dash boyfriend birthday gifts. All those things have to happen before you can create, because you can't just be drawing people down, right? So I started learning photography from that side, but then I couldn't see that photography lesson through because the person that I was learning with at that time wasn't really serious. But then before I left the photography place, I had gotten Adobe Photoshop installed on my laptop at that time. So watching videos made me realize that I could go into graphic design. It wasn't like I wanted to go into graphic design at all. But then when I started watching videos, I noticed that people were doing graphic design with Adobe Photoshop. So what did I do? I started learning graphic design on my own. And at the end of the day, I got a job, my first job in graphic design. I started doing graphic design for some firm like that. Before I realized it, I was getting gigs in graphic design. I realized that graphic designers were making huge shifts in the creative system. People were doing amazing things that were taking them to different places right there with their laptops. And I wanted to be that person as well. I noticed that people were having their stuff displayed on billboards, people were having their stuff displayed on TV, just right there, sitting on their laptop and designing amazing things. And I wanted to be that person as well. Then I started getting better at it before I now eventually went for the full photography switch after graphic design. But then what I realized was that if I didn't set out to fight the problem of me not being relevant in the state that I was, I wouldn't have found out that I could do graphic design, or I wouldn't have found out that I could actually even do photography. So you have to set out to fight anything that you see in front of you. That's going to help you write your story. The next one, then the concept of game, name, and fame. You have to establish whatever you are doing as a game that you are a player in. I know many of you guys have seen the Squid Game, that series that is everywhere right now. Many of them didn't realize that it was going to be as a big deal like that until they realized that, until they started seeing people being killed. Some people were not taking it serious. They just felt like, you know what, it's a game. If I lose, I lose, right? I can just always go back to being poor and owing people a lot of debt, right? But when they noticed that people were being killed in the game, they started taking it serious. And we noticed that at the end of the day, some people started becoming remarkable characters in the show. You started noticing some people more than some of the other guys, because they were taking charge of the game. They wanted to win. They didn't want to die, right? They took it serious. So you have to focus on your game so that you can make a name of yourself or for yourself. Then after that, that's when the fame comes to you, or that's when people start knowing you. So it's from you establishing the game that you're being a player in, as I have to win this game, right? Along the process, along the journey, you make a name for yourself because people start knowing you. This guy, you want to do fashion photography? Yeah, I know this guy, he does it amazingly well. Then they come to you. Before you know it, people start knowing you that you do that stuff amazingly well. Then you become popular from it, right? The next one, I always try to be self-aware. I always check myself. I see people doing amazing things in the same field that I am in. And I want to know that I am not being left behind. I want to be sure that I am catching up, or even I am being ahead of many of my colleagues. That's how I always check myself. Like when I want to do stuff, I try to put it down and see it as, have I done this stuff before? If I have done this stuff before, can I do something better than this? If I have done something better than this, can I do something triple better than this? So that I'm not just somewhere comfortable thinking that, I don't arrive now, right? So I always try to be self. I always check myself so that I can evolve. And people always say this stuff, like, it is that you either evolve or you die. Do you understand? Like, you notice that some 5-6 years ago, the songs that Wizkid and Two-Face were singing that time are not the songs that they're singing right now. Because then we had the likes of Rema or Malay doing different stuff in the music industry. But these guys have to be relevant. They have to keep being relevant, right? So they switched up their game and they started doing new things. Right? They started rocking the new sounds. And it can still list like top 10 people or top 10 artists in Nigeria, and you still not put the likes of Whiskey and Davido that have been there for 10 years. So you have to be constantly self-aware, and you have to keep checking yourself so that you can evolve. Next one. Risk taking. When you're on your journey of writing your story, you can't always be too careful. You can't always be too careful. No, I don't want them to tell me no. No, I don't want them to give me a la. No, I don't want to go and lose. No, I don't want them to take my money away. It's like investing, for instance. Like, there's nobody that can say that, even as big as Apple, for instance, is, you're going to make your money back if you invest in that company, because it's an investment, right? It's a risk you're taking. But you know that if you hit big money from that investment, you're made for life. So what do? Do you go back and say you don't want to do the investment, or you just go ahead and do the investment? And it's the same thing with writing your story. I didn't have a place I was going to live, or I was going to stay in Lagos when I got my first job after my youth service year. I came to Lagos. I started squatting with a friend in Jakonde, Ostapa, London. My office was in Yaba. So every morning I had to wake up like 4 o'clock to get a bus to Yaba. At that point in time, I knew that I am doing something with my life. Like, I was so sure that if we see all the guys that we went to the same school together, and there is a conversation about, so what are you doing right now? I was sure that I could say to them that I'm doing this. Do you understand? Because I took that risk of, I don't know what's going to happen. I've not been to this city before, but am I going to go there to see if I can make something of myself? Yeah, I just did it. And I did it one time, and since that time, I have been going for different things, for different job openings, applying to different places, doing different things that I would normally not do, because I know that it's an investment. If it eventually works out for me, it's going to make me a better person, or it's going to push me ahead in life, or it's going to make me experience something. And there's nothing like too much experience. The more you gather experience, the better your person. The better your person, the better your being, the better you yourself, the better you are as a person. So there are no losses, there are just lessons. If you get turned down somewhere, you know that when you go to somewhere that is like that, eventually you know how to deal with that kind of situation. So there are no losses, there is only lessons. Keep taking risks when you're writing your story. The next one is the concept of serving. You have to serve people, because when you serve people, you build yourself, you establish yourself. The experiences that you gather from there shapes you. And the easiest way to actually navigate through life is when you serve other people, because they're already ahead of you, and you can learn from them. And the fact that when you're serving them, you're already building allies with them. You're making them allies, you're making them friends, you're making them partners, you're making them collaborators. So when you have a problem or you have an issue to deal with, you can always go back and you can always fall back on them. So when you serve people, eventually you get served too. And people always come through for people that have served them in a way or the other. So be open to serving people. You're not a slave. You're not an errand boy. You're just serving people because you want them to be a part of your life in a way or the other, and you want to experience that in life as well. So be open to serving people. Always stick to that. Next one is clap for yourself. Many of us don't clap for ourselves. You do so many things in a day, and at the end of the day, you sit back and you say, God, I've not accomplished anything today. It is a lie. You have accomplished a lot. You just didn't see those things as tangible. But guess what? There are many people that have not literally achieved half of what you've done. So always clap for yourself. Don't wait for people to clap for you. I was speaking with a photographer friend like last week. He's in Canada right now. He just opened his studio there. And he was trying to inspire me to tell me that anything that I want to do, I should do it. Any picture that I want to post on Instagram, I should go ahead and post it. I should not wait for someone to say, bro, this picture is fire, or this picture is nice before I post it. Love your own work before anybody will even say that they love your work. When you love your work, you even get that you are in the position to defend the things that you love, right? So clap for yourself. You are a fighter. You should be giving yourself the right amount of credit each time you win a fight. You can't keep dancing to wait for people to cheer you on. Don't wait for people to cheer you on. Don't wait for people to say, mad. As you are dancing, you're telling yourself that the dance that you're doing is actually mad, right? You are in the center stage and you should be taking accolades. Clap for yourself each time you win a fight. That's how you enjoy writing your own story. The next one is help people. Helping people is literally termed as giving. And this is not just money, to be honest. It might be giving people opportunities to work with you. It might be giving people opportunity to leverage your platform to achieve something. I mean, you're already an established photographer, for instance, in my space. There's nothing stopping you from reposting someone's picture on your story to just put light on that person for 24 hours, right? There's nothing stopping you from engaging with with someone's posts, right? People that are just starting, or people that are just getting their head in the game, right? There's nothing stopping you from engaging with their posts. Help people. When you help people, they start connecting with you, and immediately they think of any opportunity that can help your life. They think of you. Once they hear, we're looking for an amazing speaker for something. The fact that you've helped someone, it might just be that you engaged with the person's Instagram post. To be honest, giving is not more than that. It might be that you say to the person that, man, this picture is fire, and because of that, the person has become your friend. So give people, and giving doesn't necessarily mean that you are giving from what you have or what you're worth or the amount of things that you have. That's not it. Giving doesn't have to do with how much you have. You might not have anything per se, but the fact that what the person at that particular point needs is in your care or is in your hands, just do it for the person. The next one, then this is the concept of every choice you make in life is a project. See every choice you make in life as a project. And when I say a project, I mean like it is a big deal. Anything that you're going to do in life can turn your story around 360 degrees. Anything. It might be you stepping out of your house to go to an event. It might be that event you're going to meet the person that's going to give you the biggest gig of your life. So what happens if you're not prepared? That, okay, let's just go to this party, right? And the person meets you at the party. The person stumbles on your Instagram page. You're like, you take all these photos. So how do you do that? And you don't have anything to say to the person because maybe you're not the one that has been taking the photo, for instance. Or maybe you don't even have to take photos. You'll just be hiding behind another person's face. So what happens? That means you will lose that opportunity. So every choice that you're going to take in your life should be seen as a project. You should sit down and evaluate things before you make any choice, because whatever it is that you're making as a choice in life can turn your whole life around. It can make you and can mar you. So there is a concept of every choice is a project, and you have to see yourself from being good, being remarkable, and being remarkably good. So which one are you? The next one, the second to the last one is do hard things. Do hard things. Do not be comfortable wherever you are. Don't be comfortable. The moment you start seeing yourself as, I don't arrive, that moment you stop doing amazing things. The moment people start cheering you, or the moment people start seeing you as you're badass, this guy is amazing, this guy. The moment you start seeing yourself from that light and thinking to yourself that, yeah, I'm doing amazing things and people love these amazing things I'm doing, and there's no point me doing extraordinary stuff anymore. That point is where you start failing in life. Do hard things. Always go for the hardest things. Like, see a project and think to yourself that I cannot do this stuff. That is when you now want to do it. See everything in life as a challenge. You don't know how to drive, so what? It's not going to take you 2-3 weeks to learn how to drive. Try it. Oh, you don't know how to swim? Okay, give it a shot if it's going to help your life. Or if you think that it's going to add to you in a way, then give it a shot. Try learning how to swim. Do the hardest things. If you want to bungee jump, do anything. Do hard things, be it physically or be it in your field. Try as much as possible to challenge yourself to do amazing things or the next amazing thing. The last one is this last one is enjoy the process. And that takes us back to where we started. Enjoy the process, enjoy the process, enjoy the process. Process over results. Process over results. If you take your mind or your eyes, if you take your eyes off the process, or if you lose focus of what you're doing in order to achieve something, at that point in time, you won't be able to write your story when you eventually get to where you want to get to. At any point in time, if you lose track of what you're doing, when you eventually get to where you want to get to, and people ask you, so how did you do this? You won't be able to tell them anything. Why? Because you took your eyes off the process, because you just wanted to get to where you wanted to get to. So wherever you see yourself, however you see yourself, in 5 years, in 10 years from now, anything or whatever you are doing to get there, enjoy every single moment. Enjoy the process so that at the end of the day, you can write a beautiful and amazing story.